Hello Golden Shoppers! Welcome back to my channel. This is Sir Job TV. So, I am so happy kasi a lot of people na po ang nag-subscribe sa aking YouTube channel and patuloy pong nanonood sa aking mga videos. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. I just wanna recognize those people na patuloy pong nagkukomento and talagang nanonood sa aking mga YouTube channel, sa aking mga videos. Namely, Ira Giyang of NHS, Ma'am Ruth Mayo of NHS, Ma'am Nancy Mahilong of NHS, Ma'am Auntie Eva Pidad, Charmin Bergosa, Grace Bergosa, Cayetana Bergosa, my mother, and sa lahat po ng mga patuloy na nanonood, Ma'am Jenny Beth Amador, thank you po ma'am sa lahat ng mga comments, and sana po you will keep on sharing po my videos to your friends and to anybody else na nakikilala nyo po na pwede po makarelate sa aking video na ina-upload sa aking mismong YouTube channel. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. From the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful na isinishare nyo po sa akin ang aking mga videos sa aking YouTube channel. So asahan nyo po that Sir Job TV will continue to give you quality content and quality discussions na kung saan meron po kayo talagang matututunan at the end of the day sa inyong panunood mismo sa aking YouTube channel. So for this morning, I am very excited to share with you another topic because this is an issue on the personality and the perspective of a teacher in dealing the class, really. So makarelate ko ani and makarelate I'm sure ang other teachers po ani sa akong topic for this morning. So our discussion for this episode is all about how to appreciate terror teachers or professors. So my tips to students. So sa lahat po ng mga students na nanonood ngayon, I hope po you will realize something out from this video. How you will appreciate terror teachers or professors as you go along with your milestone in education. So, it is said that no one has ever graduated without encountering a considered terror teachers or professors. Thus, this video is dedicated to all students out there who suffered from a traumatic experience because they failed to appreciate the value of a terror teachers. So I'll give you tips sa lahat ng mga students ngayon na nanonood para ma-appreciate niyo po yung kind of teacher na kung or professor na kung anong meron kayo ngayon, especially na magbubukas na po ang ating pasukan. So number one po, in order for you to appreciate a terror teacher, number one is, as a student, you have to understand logically the purpose of the teacher. So again, you have to understand logically the purpose of the teacher. Why am I saying logically? Logically can be associated also for the term rational, meaning to say, you have to think, ano ang purpose ng teacher na ito? Ano ang goal ni teacher? Bakit ganito ang perspective niya when it comes on dealing the class? So that's one thing that you need to consider. Kasi usually ang mga bata, pag ang teacher strict ang implementation niya in the class, less po ang appreciation because nowadays 21st century learners would usually go on with those teacher na napaka go with the flow lang, no? There's no standard in the class. So for those teachers na merong mga standard na siniset in the classroom, nagiging protagonist po sila in the session. So you have to understand logically the purpose of the teacher. That's one thing. Second, you need to embrace everything about the teacher. Like if he has a loud voice, has a big eyes, or he has irritating facial expression kasi nakadepende po ito, and he has beliefs that against with what you believe to be correct. So, physical expression of the teacher, kapangit ba ng teacher, ka-demonyo, bagnaong ano yung teacher, for example, that mo na yung ma-encounter in the room. So you have to embrace everything sa teacher na yan kasi you have no choice. Teacher mo siya for a certain period of time. So again, kung meron siyang strong voice, has a big eyes, or irritating facial expression, you have to embrace everything about the teacher. Okay? Number 3, stop comparing him to your former teachers or your ideal teacher. Kasi usually po ang mga students, they use on comparing, mas maayo pa si Kuan, mas gusto ko yung former teacher ko kasi sa bagong teacher ko, mas gusto ko si ma'am ano, mas gusto ko si sir ano. Do not compare. no? Kasi different po ang perspective ng mga teachers, okay? So, and do not also demand for your ideal teacher. Kasi that couldn't happen. Wala pong mangyayaring ganyan. Okay? You keep on demanding. So, gumawa ka ng school na sarili mo and then you hire for your own teacher if that is the case. Okay? So, the thing is, number 3, you stop comparing him or your teacher now to your former teachers or to your ideal teacher. That's the key. Okay. Number 4, you have to follow the standard being set during the orientation. Kasi usually, ang mga terror teacher, they have really laws or classroom regulations before they will start the class. So, the best thing that you need to do as a student is you need to follow. Okay, 100% submission to the rules and regulation being set by the teacher during the first day of the class. Walang mangyayaring problema kung ifa-follow mo ang rules and regulations being set by your teacher in the class. Okay, next, you have to submit on time or ahead of time assignments, projects, and requirements. That's basically one thing. Kahit gaano pa ka-terror si teacher, pero ikaw as a student, you know how to follow, you know how to submit your requirements or assignments or projects on time. Wala pong terror na teacher na mag-i-exist. Bagkos, that teacher will turn into a friend with you kasi nakikita niya yung determination and respect mo towards the teacher, for example. So, ganun lang po ang way. You have to follow, you have to submit on time, you have to submit your requirements on time, then nothing is wrong about or no problem will be done or will be happening for that particular situation. Next, you have to assess yourself. Are you learning from your terror teacher? Okay, ganun. You have to assess. You have to ask yourself, okay, in that particular situation. Kasi usually, ang mga terror teachers, they have that command intellectually. Bakit ka pa naging terror teacher kung wala ka nang palang ma-impart na magaganda or fresh or quality ideas from your learners? Pero meron din po talaga nangyayari in the field na may mga terror teachers pero wala pong ibubuga sa kanilang mga sarili. So, observe din po niyan. But usually, pag terror po si teacher, meron po talaga siyang standard sa kanyang, even sa kanyang sarili, na gusto niyang i-share at i-discipline or parang ipagawa sa mga estudyante. Gusto niyang ganito ang way of disciplining the students, for example. So, ganun po. Next, if you have concern, do it politely and make sure to only raise constructive criticism. Again, if you have concern, do it politely and make sure to only raise constructive criticism. What does it mean when we say constructive criticism? When we speak of constructive criticism, meaning to say, you have to create your line na hindi masasaktan si teacher sa iyong criticism. Like for example, you want to correct with a policy or you want to change something from the directions being given to you. So, do it constructively or politely. Meaning to say, wag mong kunin yung respect na deserve ni teacher. Okay, kasi may mga estudyante na pag nagpa-present po sila or if they are correcting something from that teacher, hindi po in a polite manner. So, yun po, dapat you have to observe that one. Still, you need to be polite in correcting your teachers. Constructive criticisms po. Okay, number 8. If you receive a failed grade, do not blame the teacher. Rather, assess yourself, what have you done for the entire period of the subject? Because ang mga estudyante ngayon, they don't want to get failed grade or even yung maliliit na grado po, ayaw po ng mga estudyante in today's time. Gusto nila higher po ang grado nila and gusto nilang pumasa even if to the point na wala silang ginawang maganda for the subject. So kung binagsak ka ng teacher mo for that particular subject, you have to assess yourself. Wag kang magalit sa teacher na yan, but you have to assess within yourself, what have you done for the entire semester, for example, for that subject. Okay? Wag magalit kay teacher, but rather, you have to assess yourself kung ano ang ginawa mo. Okay? Next, please do not curse the terror teacher, even to a point of praying for his death, and wishing to suffer from a fatal disease. Usually, nangyayari po ito. Pag nakaka-encounter tayo ng terror teachers, we always have this line in our own vernacular. Mamatay pa unta na siya, magkasakit pa unta na siya, mabapol o madisgrasya unta na siya para di nakabalik din sa eskwelahan. That's the usual thing, di ba? Luoy kaayo ang teacher nga, ang goal niya is maka-learn mo, but you are praying for something negative na pwedeng mangyari sa teacher na yan. So please do not curse the terror teachers or the so-called terror teachers, kasi ang goal po niya is the same with the teacher na ideal mo. Okay? So later you will learn. Next, give yourself time to talk heartily to the terror teacher, and you realize how lucky you are to be under with her tutelage. Okay? So, give your time to talk. Kung medyo you are confused with everything, give your time to talk. Ask the teacher, "Ma'am, bakit ganito ang approach mo sa amin? Bakit ganito ang orientation mo?" So that you will know the goal of the teacher kung bakit niya ginagawa yun sa inyong lahat. Okay? So, you give time to talk. Do not react immediately. Go and talk to that particular teacher para ma-explain niya sa iyo. Then, I'm sure, after the conversation, you will realize how lucky you are na na-under ka for that particular teacher. I'm sure with that, 100%. Okay, next, at the end of the day, always bear in mind that no teacher in the world who are praying for the downfall of every students. Wala pong teacher sa buong mundo, terror or not terror teachers, kung ano man po ang kinoconsider nyo sa mga teachers na yan, wala pong teacher na nangangarap na maging unsuccessful po, na maging downfall po or ma-destroy or ma-ruin po ang existence ng isang estudyante. Wala pong teacher na nangangarap ng ganyan. Teachers might have different approach in teaching as an expression of their genuine personality and principles in life. Ito po yung always kong sinasabi. Kapag si teacher ay terror teacher, for example, or strict ang implementation niya inside the room, that's simply an expression of kung ano yung principle niya sa life, or kung ano talaga ang personality ni teacher, or what kind of orientation that teacher na meron sa buhay niya. Okay? So, hindi po yan nagmamatter kung ano po yung tingin nyo na the way of teaching, the way of sharing the knowledge, or whatever. There's no factor about it, because ang punto po is lahat po ng teachers sa buong mundo, they are always thinking for the welfare of every students po. So, ganun lang po. Again, kung terror po si teacher, that's only simply an expression sa kanyang personality and principle in life. But the goal is universal po, okay? It is to share the knowledge to students and empowering them to become the best version of themselves in the future. So yun po ang sinabi ko kanina, na lahat po ng teachers, they're aiming po na magkaroon po ng magandang buhay ang lahat ng mga naging estudyante nila. Some of you might consider me as one of those terror teachers you encountered in life so far. Okay? Sa lahat ng mga estudyante kong nanonood ngayon na kino-consider po si Sir Jobert na terror teacher, okay? I know na merong mga estudyante na kino-consider po ako as a terror teacher. Okay. But for those who already realize the value of my purpose, I am so happy that finally you are now entering to a door that I opened for you. Okay? So, this is usually na nangyayari, no? On the first month sa aking pagpasok sa room, some of the students usually considered me as a terror teacher. But after a couple of months, or after we finish the lesson, or we finish the semester, automatically they realize something na, ito pala ang purpose ni Sir. Why? Ganun po ang implementation niya. So, pag na-realize mo na yan, welcome ka na pong pumasok sa binuksan kong door para sa inyong lahat. So, yun po. With this gesture, I am confident that you have now your complete gear to combat the challenges for the next chapter of your life. That's the point. Bakit ako naging terror? Bakit I want a strict implementation in the class? Because yan po ang natutunan ko sa Mindanao State University. Yan po ang aming orientation sa MSU. So I want to express simply my orientation, my principle, my personality to my class, of course. Okay? Because I want you to be ready for more bigger challenges ahead of you. No? Na the moment, for example, high school ka pa ngayon, and the moment you encounter the same situation in college, for example, complete gear ka na. Meaning to say, you are prepared and you are ready to face that particular situation. I am sure with that. Pag nagkaroon ka ng difficult na training or difficult situation, pagdating mo sa malalaking laban, ready ka na. 'Di ba? Bakit maraming diamond in South Africa? Why? Why there's a lot of beautiful diamonds in South Africa? Because of pressure. Pag mayroon pong pressure, there is beautiful effect or there is wonderful output na mangyayari. So kung gusto mo na maging isa kang the best version of yourself, then you should be thankful kung you will encounter terror teachers as you go along with your milestone in your academic development. Okay, so to all my terror teachers and professors na encounter ko po sa life, I can't forget you all. Di ko po pwedeng kalimutan yung mga naging terror teachers ko and professors. Magmula elementary, high school, at saka yung college journey ko. And even with my master's degree, hindi ko po pwedeng kalimutan yung mga naging terror professors ko. I am forever grateful on how you molded and crafted me of who am I today. So thankful kaayo ko that I have a lot of terror teachers sa akong journey in learning. I will forever emulate the standard and make this as your greatest legacy, and to let you know that once upon a time, as my terror teacher, you inspired me to break my limits and to go beyond from what I see. So, ganun po. So, I am so thankful po na you allow me na ma-develop ang sarili ko and you allow me to go beyond my limits kasi usually, ang tingin natin sa ating sarili hanggang dito lang tayo. But the moment you encounter a terror teacher who will push you to become the best version of yourself, that's the time you will realize something, uy, kaya man din akong may nani or kaya man din akong mo-create of something like this one. So, just be thankful po. Kasi ako personally, I should have to say thank you. I am so very thankful po, rather sa lahat ng mga naging terror teachers ko. Hindi ko na sila papangalanan sa aking video, but napaka-thankful ko po that I have the chance to encounter, or I had that moment na ma-encounter po ang mga teachers na ito. Okay. Thank you so much to all my terror teachers. I love you all and forever po akong grateful sa inyo. So, nung na-encounter ko po ang mga terror teachers na ito, sabi ko po sa aking sarili, pag maging teacher na ako, this is the kind of discipline and this is the kind of teaching strategy na i-follow ko sa aking sarili. Kahit ano man pong sabihin ng sistema na yan, kahit ano man pong sabihin ng mga tao towards my implementation, I will always go with the standard na kung saan po ako oriented for a couple of years para ma-develop ako kung sino man po ako as a teacher now. So, according to a Chinese proverb, strict teachers produce fine students. Again, strict teachers produce fine students. Meaning to say, pag strict ang implementation mo, there is a value of discipline within the class, and ito ang training mo intellectually for your learners, then you could be able to create a beautiful or a refined class or a very good intellectually developed na mga estudyante if you have this particular training within your class mismo. So, there's nothing wrong of being terror, and ang punto po ng video na ito is I hope that you will appreciate the value of those teachers. Kung ano po ang tingin nila. Again, gusto ko pong i-clarify sa video na ito, si terror teachers at hindi terror na teachers, same lang po ang kanilang goal. That is to develop, or that is to give, or to let that student na ma-develop po sa kanya ang sense of appreciation sa kanyang sarili, and of course, intellectually speaking, ma-develop po siya to become the best version of himself. Wala pong teacher na nangangarap na masira po ang future ng isang estudyante. But the thing is, iba-iba po ang approach ng mga teachers on how they deal the class. But again, the goal is universal. That is to help the students to improve their living condition and to have a quality life in the future. So that's it. So I hope that you will learn something from this video, and I hope that you will appreciate your terror teachers, and from now on you will say thank you to your terror teachers, and you will love them for the rest of your life. Bye bye.